The world is starved of authenticity and yet craves it more than ever. Everyone's so fixated on looking for creativity, searching for it, trying to find it, looking desperately out there in the world when authenticity is only ever here. It's already inside of you. It is you. It's the true version of you before you started to believe all of the stories that society tried to prescribe onto you. You're not good enough. You're not creative enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not fill in the blank of whatever narrative and story we're still unraveling as adults today. The truth of the matter is that authenticity only comes when we can deeply connect to what it means to be human. And that is the one thing that connects all of us, yet it's the one thing that is so hard to access. We're so caught up in being busy and being productive and achieving and hustling and, acquiring and playing the game that we're told to play. But there's a different game available to us. I call it the inside out game. It's the game that says, I'm going to let what's happening out there determine a lot less of what's happening in here, in my heart, in my body, in my emotions. And now I'm going to choose my internal state, and this is the lens that I'm going to use to relate to the world around me. Because there's really only two games we're playing at any time. We're either letting external circumstance dictate what we believe about ourselves, or we are choosing to craft a story and let that influence external circumstance, And when we get right with that reality and learn to create our own internal state, our own perspective, our own narrative, before believing what the world is telling us about it, that is where we become magnetic. That's where we connect deeply to our intuition. That is where we really harness the power of what it means to be an embodied creative. What does it mean to be an embodied creative? It means to be deeply connected to what is happening in your body, in your field, and how you can use that as the greatest fuel, inspiration, and level of presence to impact the world through your creativity. What it means to be embodied is to be fully resourced here and now. It takes slowing the fuck down to ground the fuck down to be able to stand confidently in who you are in this moment, regardless of how imperfect and messy it is. It's to be connected to your breath and to choose to give your gifts to the world, regardless of how the world receives them. Authentic giving of your creativity is the only thing that is deeply asked of you. And those who can discover that level of authenticity and choose to give it to the world immediately separate themselves from the rest of the pack that are all just stuck in the rat race, lost but not quite knowing exactly why. And the reason why is that's just the flow of the river. We grow up and we are conditioned to just not question, to follow the path that's most common, that we're told is going to lead to the future that we believe in. But that's bullshit. The future is not real. You are only ever right where you are. And it's not to say to be irresponsible of planning for tomorrow in the future, but it is to say that you are only ever truly capable of creating the life that you want in the here and now. If you're waiting for some day where you are finally going to have it all figured out, where someone, something, some amount of money, some accolade is going to save you from the current texture of the reality that you are experiencing and give you the life that you dream of, you're going to be waiting at that bus stop for a very long time, because the last bus left right now. But luckily, there's another one right now, and right now. And I know I'm a broken record, but the more that you can be fully resourced in the now is the degree to which you have access to your creative gifts. And the world wants them. Like I said, the world is starved of authenticity. Yet everyone's waiting for someone else to give them that quick hit of dopamine, that quick hit of something that almost fills the void. But like any addiction, you can never get enough of something that's almost it. You know, and most of how we're living our lives is almost it. But yet it still leaves us unfulfilled and wanting more. And that call to wanting more is to reconnect deeply to yourself, to your body. I call it the somatic revolution because I believe that it is a rebellious act to be in your body. Everything about culture in the world today is trying to get you to leave your body, to trying to get you to distract you from giving your gifts to the world, from showing up in your community, from giving your deep trust and generosity because it's the world you would prefer to live in. Everything is taking you away from that. Go into your mind. Think about all the atrocities of the world. Constantly be overstimulated in your nervous system at all times so that you have no time to actually digest your own goddamn food, you know? I'm being sharp, but it's a wild landscape, right? And have compassion because this is just the contemporary that we're working with. In learning to be an unwavering stand for yourself and being in your body in a world that's desperately trying to pull you out of it is courageous. It's courageous to be creative. Because to be creative, you have to be connected to yourself and you have to be in your body. If you're creating from your mind, that's not creativity, that's logic. I'm sorry. Creativity is a somatic expression. It takes being deeply attuned to yourself. People talk about flow state. Flow state is a nervous system state. And 99.9% of humanity is chronically dysregulated because our nervous system was not designed to handle all of the atrocities of the world all at once every single day. Period. When in history have we had that level of access to information? Now, information is simultaneously one of the most powerful gifts we have, but when we interact with it unconsciously and give our power away to it, look around and see the world that it's created. No wonder why people are starving for authenticity. We're so busy getting our attention and power and life force hijacked by you know exactly what, right? So authenticity is what the world craves, and no one is going to tell you how to do it. You have to do the deep inner work to discover what it means for you. People can point the way. People can beam and radiate authenticity from their heart that hopefully inspires you. But you have to do the deep, honest work in the privacy of your own heart to go through your fears, to meet your edge, to find what you uniquely came here for, to embody the presence required to give your gifts so radically. That's what you came here for. And that takes a deep level of courage to be able to acknowledge and devote to. But I guarantee you that that is the path to the life that you crave. You know, no trendy fad, no in vogue career, no content creator this or that, influencer said this, is going to speak directly to your heart. Your heart knows deeply what it wants to give. It might not know what it looks like, but it knows what it feels like. And you have to learn to start there in the messy imperfection of it all. So take a couple deep breaths, get deeply connected to your body, and give your gifts with wild abandon because the world craves authenticity now more than ever. And the only one who can be you is you. So be so goddamn radically you that you could care less how the world receives you. You just would prefer to be you anyways and show up that way anyways. Yeah, thanks y'all. I appreciate you being here. If you want some facilitation to really connect to that authenticity, I invite you to check out the Embodied Creative Toolkit below. Powerful training to help you there. But in the meantime, I hope that y'all enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.